Good afternoon, KELOLAND. Temperatures continue to warm. We have numbers that are in the 20s, 30s, and 40s at the moment, as we have mostly sunny skies for the southern part of the area. Clouds remaining tough in the northeastern South Dakota, as well as parts of central KELOLAND. As you see, we'll have a high of 34 today in Sioux Falls, 28 Aberdeen, 30 in Pierre, and I'd say at least 42 in Rapid City. May have to bump that up a little. More details on your forecast coming up as we begin midday in KELOLAND.
Live from KELOLAND Media Group, midday in KELOLAND.
Sioux Falls Parks and Rec announces that a new pool will be added to the southern side of the city. Plus,
going head-to-head, the race for the GOP presidential nomination is down to just two contenders. I'm Penny Commit in Manchester, New Hampshire, where former President Donald Trump has a significant lead, but former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley is looking to target the state's independent vote.
good afternoon and thanks for having us in. Authorities are trying to determine whether this past weekend's dangerously cold temperatures played a role in a man's death. Sioux Falls police say the man had been missing for a day, so relatives went looking for him. They discovered his body in the stairwell of a parking garage on Sunday afternoon.
We are investigating it. We'll have to wait for the coroner to make the determination on the manner and cause of death, and of course that may take several weeks before the results come back from all the tests.
Police say so far there are no indications of foul play. Investigators are hoping surveillance video helps them piece together exactly what happened. Pivoting to weather, it's a dry forecast, isn't it, Scott, with some warming trends out there?
Oh, you know, we're already experiencing that. Temperatures already in the low and the middle 30s across southeastern South Dakota. You know, Sioux Falls included in that. We've had a lot of sunshine during the morning hours. We may have a steady increase in cloud cover as we go into the afternoon. We're now at 34. We're melting that snow and ice. In fact, the main roads during the early part of the afternoon right now, mainly just wet as we continue to melt the snow and ice off the roadways. And of course, the 34 has been the high temperature since midnight. We'll continue to follow the sunshine here in the central South Dakota, though we have been watching thicker clouds throughout much of the morning. Skies are now starting to break in central KELOLAND. Temperature in Pierre's at 22. We do have light winds, while in Aberdeen, thick cloud cover, and I think the clouds will stay throughout much of the afternoon hours. Temperature in Aberdeen is at 25 with that north wind at 13. We have a temperature of 29 degrees in Yankton, while it's 27 in Laverne. As we do move into northeastern South Dakota, notice how the temperatures are in the middle 20s. And for western KELOLAND, Rapid City's coming in at 40. Winds are light, 5 to 15 miles per hour from the north, covering eastern and northeastern South Dakota. We'll melt some snow as we do go through the week. I wouldn't be surprised if we cut a lot of the snow depth in half by the time we do get into Fridays. This computer model is predicting that we can see snowfall that's still on the ground, that snow depth, by the time we do get into Friday, ranging anywhere from an inch to maybe as much as 4. We'll see how much we do melt as we do go forward. Temperatures today in the 20s, 30s, and 40s for afternoon highs. As we get into tonight, numbers will fall to the teens and 20s. We'll probably have areas of fog tomorrow morning. That fog will slowly go away during the morning hours. We'll go partly sunny in the afternoon. Temperatures in the 30s and 40s for afternoon highs. I'll have more details on your KELOLAND Live Doppler forecast coming up.
Thank you, Scott. The city of Sioux Falls is hoping to add a new aquatic center to its lineup, but the project is likely years away from becoming reality. Sioux Falls Parks and Recreation has identified 5 acres of land on the Harrisburg Freshman Academy campus as a possible landing spot for a new Southside facility, but the director of Parks and Rec says other projects will take priority.
It's not part of the quality of life bond to replace Keene and Frank. Because those are our 2 facilities that are 40 to 50 years old, and those are really our priorities for this quality of life bond.
Kearney says it could be 5 or 10 years before the aquatic center is built, but a public input session is set for 5:30 Thursday at Harrisburg Freshman Academy, allowing you to provide ideas and feedback for the future of the site. School districts will have to continue to rely on donations and general funds to cover debts in their school lunch programs. A piece of legislation that would have made the state government responsible for a portion of the debt failed today at the state capitol. The House Education Committee voted 8-7 to reject the proposal. It sought an estimated $570,000, which would have covered what school districts don't receive. Today, South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem and 15 fellow Republican governors sent a letter to President Joe Biden opposing his mandates on electric vehicles. The governors in their letter call out the lack of necessary infrastructure to support battery electric vehicles. They state that while the technology is promising, it will take time to develop the marketplace and properly address consumer access and concerns. With just 1 day to go before New Hampshire's first in the nation primary, the race for the Republican presidential nomination is officially down to 2 candidates, former President Donald Trump and his former UN ambassador, Nikki Haley. Penny Commit has the latest from Manchester.
I'm excited as tomorrow is the big day.
Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley stepped up her attacks against former President Trump as she campaigned in New Hampshire 1 day before the state's first in the nation primary.
And every single thing that Donald Trump has said or put on TV has been a lie.
The former UN ambassador is now Trump's only challenger for the GOP nomination after Florida Governor Ron DeSantis dropped out Sunday.
It's clear to me that a majority of Republican primary voters want to give Donald Trump another chance.
Trump said Sunday he appreciated DeSantis' endorsement and called Haley unelectable.
The radical left Democrats are supporting Nikki for a very simple reason, because they know she's easy to beat.
While the latest polling shows Trump with a big advantage among Republicans in New Hampshire, independents, known as undeclared, are the biggest voting bloc in the state, and they're allowed to participate in the Republican primary. So while Trump maintains a double-digit lead, Haley is focused on turning out those people in the middle.
This year, I am still completely undecided. This election's coming up on Tuesday, and I still don't know who I'm going to vote for.
But Haley's path forward may be an uphill climb. Trump won New Hampshire's independent voters in 2016. Penny Commit, CBS News, Manchester, New Hampshire.
President Joe Biden's name is not on the New Hampshire ballot because he's complying with the Democratic Party's decision to make South Carolina its first primary state. According to the Secretary of State's office, 21 Democrats submitted the necessary paperwork and payment to appear on the ballot, including Congressman Dean Phillips of Minnesota and Marianne Williamson, who ran for the Democratic nomination in 2020.